How long have you been in here?
Whoa, Colonel Rhodes, I've got you. You've been held hostage for a long time.
We all witnessed the terror attack that was carried out on my motorcade earlier this week in England. The terrorists responsible were a shape-shifting, alien-born species known as Skrulls. That is why tonight I'm presenting to Congress for immediate emergency authorization a bill that designates all off-world-born species enemy combatants. We know who you are. We know how to find you. And we will kill every last one of you.
What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television, and I want to thank you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing, and all that beautiful YouTube stuff there. I hope that today is the day we earn that subscription. If so, you hit that red subscribe bar down below. But without further ado, let's get into Secret Invasion, Episode 6, entitled Home. Starring, of course, Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury, Don Cheadle as Scrody, Emilia Clarke as Gaia, Olivia Colman as Sonia Falsqorth, Charlene Woodward as Priscilla, and last but not least, Kingsley Benadier as Gravik, the antagonist for the show. We wrap up this episode with pretty much the plot getting thwarted by Fury, Falsqorth, and Gaia. But I'll get into kind of the plot a little bit, how it winds up ending. But I will say before I give my thoughts on the show, I wanted to kind of just say that I thought overall there were some great aspects about this show. I thought the acting was really top notch. I think everyone did a phenomenal job. Some of my go-to moments for picking out certain favorite scenes is like a lot of Nick Fury and Scrody scenes, Gravik's and Gaia, Gravik's and Fury. These, just everyone really brought their acting game to this show, despite some of my issues again with the writing. And it seems like the Disney shows really start off or have the potential to be phenomenal, great. I love Moon Knight, I love Scarlet Witch, I love these characters. I even grew an appreciation for Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, in her series. I definitely like her in the show more than I do the comic books. But I think Secret Invasion in an overall sense had fallen short of the gravity of what this show could have been. It fell short of the spy thriller I was hoping it was going to be. And then there was really no mid-credit scene, end-credit scene to this show to help advance or get people excited for the next movie coming out, which is The Marvels, which I kind of don't have high hopes for, except for Kamala Khan's character, because again, I like the actress and she and her energy, and she's a real fan of this character. She's also writing a comic book soon that's going to be released by Marvel for Miss Marvel. So even though I'm not a big Miss Marvel fan of the comics, again, her energy that she brings makes me like the character in the shows. So I think that her and Photon are going to do great in the movie. I just don't have high hopes for Brie Larson as her Captain Marvel. I don't like her portrayal, and I just think that she has no passion for the character, and that's why it comes out the way it does. That's why I think like Elizabeth Olsen, the actress who plays Photon, Darcy, right? These characters, Chris Hemsworth playing Thor, these characters are great if you just take them out of the bubble, right? Because the characters, the actors playing these characters have a vested interest in these characters, right? They see that there's a fan base of people wanting to see them, and I was highly anticipating this series, and I just felt like the grandeur of the story was not there. The paranoia of the comics was not there. It just was very much a one-man war almost against the Skrulls, and I get that Fury felt responsible, and he was trying to hide what he did, okay, which is collecting the DNA of the superheroes. And eventually, I think that will come to play and to be found out by the various superheroes. And I hope it does, because then it will add more depth and layer to Nick's character. Oh, I mean, Fury's character. I'm not a Skrull, I swear. Yeah, so I hope that one day that he can be found out. But basically, we think that Nick Fury is going to fight Gravik in the Russian nuclear base, and we see Nick Fury losing energy, and he's willing to give up the harvest for Gravik to move out off of Earth and go somewhere else with this plan, and he refused, and he still took the harvest anyway. And here's some of the names of the DNA that was in there: Captain America, Thor, Black Panther, Mantis, Captain Marvel, Corvus Glaive, some Outrider. Did I say Mantis? Mantis, Drax. Yeah, that's just some of them. Winter Soldier. These are just some of the names that they gained. The Hulk. These are some of the DNA powers that they now have, Gravik's. Now, and we find out that Fury wasn't really Fury dying of radiation poisoning. It was really Gaia as Fury, and she stayed in the machine with Gravik as Fury, and she too now has all these powers, and her and Gravik had a big throwdown. I enjoyed the fight. I thought it was good. There was some good uses of the powers. They did try to put more time and effort into the CGI of this show, which is good. And Gaia ultimately wins out, killing Gravik and being the only Super Skrull left on Earth. Now, we pick up with Falsqorth calling Rhodey and telling him that Fury's on his way to get the president. And so Rhodey moves the president, and in the meantime, all the Secret Service agents are getting knocked out by somebody. And finally, it comes down to Falsqorth taking Rhodey prisoner, because she's like, I knew you, so you're not Rhodey because you're horrible at checking behind doors in your corners. Something that would come second nature to a man of his training. And now it's Fury, Falsqorth, with Scrody, and the president in this hallway, and it's Fury trying to show and convince the president that Scrody is really a Skrull. Eventually, Scrody tries to make a move and gets shot and exposes himself or herself as a Skrull, finally convincing the president of that he was being manipulated all this time, which really made him mad because at the end of the episode, he basically called the war to be had on the Skrulls. And we see hit squads taking out some Skrulls that were known, but we see Fury talking to the president, and he mentions now this vigilantism by regular people, thinking they're shooting Skrulls and they're shooting just normal people. So Gravik's in a way almost, even though he didn't have a bomb drop on us, the bomb of the truth fell on us, and now there's a natural mistrust all around the planet, and Fury thinks the president just stoked the fires even worse for those Skrulls that were willing to help us out, as good neighbors. Now it's now every Skrull is person non grata. They're up for getting whatever bounties, killed, whatever done on them. And who's to say what the governments will do with their bodies once they recover Skrull bodies, right? You could maybe have the Skrulls be a blueprint for technology that's used for the Sentinels and their ability to adapt into stuff. Or you can even use Gravik's body as that, right? Being he's got all these powers, and they can use that as a form of technology towards Sentinels. But I don't think that will. I'm throwing that out there, spitballing. But basically, that's how the episode ends. And it's Fury going up to space with Priscilla in her true form. And basically, they're going to give a second chance to love and see if it's really something that they want, because now everything's out on the table, right? Now let's really try this for real, in a way. And I thought that was a sweet little story between him and Priscilla. I liked the characters. I liked the interactions of the characters, and I liked the chemistry they all had, and the acting was superb. It just was not. It just fell short in expectations and fell short of the gravity of the situation, in my opinion. But you let me know what you think down below about the show Secret Invasion on a whole. And until next time, remember, who do you trust? Peace, Snookums.
Everybody!